Hi, I'm Lindsay, a senior consultant at Slide UX, and today I am pleased to introduce Scott Segal. Scott has been a client of ours since 2016 with the American Board of Radiology. Together we've worked on projects such as the rebranding of ABR, creating the online longitudinal assessment, which helps radiologists maintain their certifications, and lately bringing the in-person oral exam into a remote space. Scott, give us an example of a time when a user insight changed your assumptions.
This happened relatively recently. A developer asked me what I thought was a no-brainer question about how the doctors who use our software, who are three different fields of medicine, would want a particular feature to work for collaboration. And I said all of them would absolutely want option A. Then we casually validated with the first of the medical specialties. It said, no, it's B. And then second, no, it's B. And the third, it's B. And it was a great reminder of how you make assumptions, but you often guess wrong.
Thinking back on your past experiences, do you have any words of wisdom or hard-learned lessons you'd like to share with our audience of user-focused product and marketing leaders?
I think the main one would be don't be afraid to talk to your customers, both internal customers and external customers throughout the design process. Especially what I've seen is a reluctance to speak to the people who often do the actual work itself. So you're building an accounting system and you don't talk to the bookkeepers. Maybe you speak to the accountants and the CFO. But I would say often the people who are what maybe get described as the lower level employees have the most insights into how things really work and how they should work.
Thinking about where you are today professionally, what advice would you give to your younger self if you could?
I think the thing I would tell myself is about being much more mindful about how conceptually complex something is. You know, when you're young and you think you can keep all of it in your head and you're never going to figure out how it works and how all the pieces fit together, then you finish a project, it's a success, but then you have to go back to modify it 6 months later, a year later, and you realize how little of that understanding you recall. Then the application is so complex, it's very difficult to sort of get back to what you had in your head at the time. So I think I would tell my younger self, think about the conceptual complexity of anything you're designing from the start. And always think about the people who have to come after you to maintain it so that they don't have to spend 6 months kind of unraveling all the assumptions you made that aren't really reflected in the design.
It has always been clear how much the ABR values feedback. What decisions have you had to go back and revisit based on things you've learned along the way?
I think the decision that we kind of revisit along the way based on what we learn most often relates to how something was designed in terms of the workflow for the user. And when we design it, we're always thinking about, how it's supposed to work in our heads. So we have a very difficult time anticipating where the user is going to get thrown off. So we often see as we go along the way is that things that we thought were absolutely clear are actually not clear to users. And it's not their fault. It's because we had in our head a complete vision of how it worked. So we never saw the gaps that a new user would have.
Lastly, do you have any closing words on how Slide UX might have contributed to your success?
I think the way that Slide UX has contributed to our success is by taking the time and making the effort to really understand our customers and the business we're in. We often see is that we're able to bring Slide UX the challenges we face. We don't bring them a solution. We don't really bring them here's how it could solve the problem. We really bring them a problem that we struggle with. And very often what we get back is not what we expect. Would you come back with something that really solves the problem? Because you've taken time to understand our business and understand the perspective of our customers. And that's what makes it so valuable.
For more from Slide UX, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share.